Eden Hazard released Andre Schürrle.
Andre Schürrle, that's the moment for Chelsea, and they take it.
Hazard's party trick should have seen Chelsea double their advantage. Torres missed from point-blank range. 2-0 was soon the case as the same pair wreaked havoc once more.
Hazard, it's Schürrle again, goal again, deja vu.
Schürrle completed his hat-trick, exposing a porous Fulham defence.
Is this his moment? It is! A clinical hat-trick from Andre Schürrle.
Fulham scrambled in a late goal, but McGuff will have to turn things around quickly if the Cottagers are to avoid relegation, as Chelsea build momentum at the top of the table. Their closest pursuer, Arsenal, travelled to the Britannia Stadium. Arsene Wenger left Mesut Ozil on the bench as Stoke were looking to continue their giant killing tag at home. It was only late in the first half when a few scoring chances materialised.
It's going to fall kindly to Cazorla. He'll take it on.
Asmir Begovic was relieved at keeping out Santi Carzola's deflected shot. Peter Crouch has scored 7 times against the Gunners. He threatened to add to that tally in the second half. Stoke did find their goal. Handball on Laurent Koscielny sent Jonathan Walters to the penalty spot.
One big kick for Jonathan Walters. Stoke City just love a visit from the big teams.
The look said it all for Wenger. Off the bench, Ozil agitated for the equaliser. It wasn't to be, as Stoke claimed another big scalp at home. Arsenal severely dented their premiership aspirations. 2 teams with attacking will. Southampton hosted Liverpool, and the Reds in their blue away strip had luck on their side to open the scoring through their most lethal source.
It's broken here for the man they just didn't want it to fall to, Luis Suarez.
The Saints should have equalised. Ricky Lambert played in Adam Lallana superbly, but the post came to Liverpool's rescue.
That's Lallana! So unlucky.
Raheem Sterling came off the bench in the second half, and his first touch had maximum impact.
And here's Sterling! That is a quite brilliant goal by Liverpool.
The crafty Suarez won a late penalty for Liverpool, one which Steven Gerrard dispatched. Brendan Rodgers Reds with a full head of steam.
Title challengers, you better believe it.
Looking to stay in the hunt for Champions League qualification, Spurs were at home to Cardiff City. Aaron Lennon got in behind for Roberto Soldado to threaten. Spurs looked most dangerous on the counter-attack, and it would prove fruitful just before the half hour.
Soldado! How he has waited for that!
With Ole Gunnar pondering a way back for Cardiff City, Spurs should have claimed a second.
And here is Harry Kane! Blotted out by Marshall.
Tottenham stay ahead of Everton in 5th place, but 7 points behind Manchester City. At the top, Chelsea has a 4-point cushion over Liverpool, with Arsenal dropping to 3rd.
Newcastle's 4-1 win over Hull was marred by Adam Pardew's dismissal from the touchline for an altercation with Hull midfielder David Mailer. Pardew's immediate apology failed to dig him out of trouble. He's since been fined £100,000 by his employer, close to $190,000. For more on that story, head to sbs.com.au/theworldgame. Manchester City and Sunderland have had contrasting Premier League campaigns, but would meet in the first major final of the season, with a remarkably even recent head-to-head record. Indeed, the Black Cats have posted wins over City in each of the past 4 seasons. Could Gus Poyet's side spring another upset over the world's most expensive side? Scott McIntyre has the story from the 54th League Cup final.
They may be all but out of the running for European glory, but there were still 3 domestic titles on the line as Manchester City travelled to Wembley for a League Cup final meeting with Sunderland. The pre-match anthem was slightly lost on a City starting 11 without a single British member. And Vincent Kompany was also all at sea here as Fabio Borini latched on to Adam Johnson's long ball. The City captain all tangled up in the tackle. The Italian international saw another effort deflected wide moments later, over a half in which the Black Cats made the stronger impression. Things were markedly different after the interval. David Silva threatening soon after the resumption. Kostel Pantelinen had to be alert to tip over Ki-Sung Young's long-range effort. City squared things up on 55 minutes with a goal that Yaya Toure described as the finest in his career. As Sunderland was still coming to terms with that, in a matter of 90 seconds, City went ahead.
First time hit, 2-1, Nasri. Wonderfully clean strike. 2 goals in 90 seconds.
City were becoming the dominant side, and both Nasri and company had efforts that weren't far wide. But the crowning moment arrived, courtesy of Spaniard Jesus Navas.
Toure. Jesus Navas. The Capital One Cup is heading to Manchester City.
A few minutes later, and that was confirmed.
Claim another piece of silverware. Their first under Manuel Pellegrini, who becomes the very first South American coach to lay his hands on the English League Cup. For the first time since the days of kipper ties and flared trousers, the modern Manchester City are threatening to become unstoppable.
So, Sunderland miss out on a first major trophy since 1973, as well as a place in the UEFA Europa League, while Manchester City secure their first silverware since 2012. Up next, a slew of classic rivalries from the continent. This is